Cowboys Nation, sorry about that. We got the first one, went about 15 minutes there and just kind of had an error there. We're on my own Facebook here. We're going to give you a Brews and the Boys podcast later in the week, but we're going to do this from my own Facebook here. As always, I'm Mr. Sizemore, right for Blogging the Boys, your host at brewsandtheboys.com, Brews and the Boys podcast. The Dallas Cowboys fall to the Green Bay Packers. It seems like this just happens so much. And it's happening again because the Cowboys fall to the Green Bay Packers 35-31 in such a heartbreaking game. And it just seems like they can't get out of their own way here. The Cowboys are 2-3. They have a bye week coming up now. And it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate for them because of the way that their offense played to begin the game versus how it ended. And you're going to have these. You're going to have these. This is going to happen quite a bit. You're going to see this. Ethan Taylor, welcome to the show. Anybody that can join here, I understand if you don't want to, because I understand. Welcome, Derek Terry, DT, my buddy. I understand that it's hard to watch these types of games, but the Cowboys fall to the Packers 35-31. We're going to go through Ryan Sibley, shout out to you. Thomas Duck, shout out to you, my friend, my former colleague there at Blogging the Boys. We're going to talk about this loss. We're going to put it in perspective. We go so much and we say we don't want to be a doom and gloom, and we still don't. We still don't want to be a doom and gloom because it's 2-3. Welcome to my mom. Hey guys, shout out to my mom. Somebody comment and tell Melissa Sizemore how much you love her. She's a sweet, sweet woman, the greatest woman of all time. She's number one in my life. Number two is Ric Flair, as you guys know, and number three is Ashley, but don't tell her. Anyway, the Cowboys play a heartbreaker today. There's my sister, Mary Sizemore, Maria Sizemore. And we just want to shout out to you guys. Thank you for joining us. Cowboys lose 35-31. Let's get into it, okay? Thanks for the woo there, Ryan Sibley. Ric Flair always makes us all feel better. But let's get into this. The Cowboys offense, if you're going to have any silver lining here, you have to look at the fact that the offense seems to be back. I mean, they are back. They scored points, but in a game against Aaron Rodgers, you cannot give them the chance to make plays that they did. And that's where it came down to. We've been talking about this all week, from myself to Brian Broaddus to other guys like McNola. Once you let Aaron Rodgers out of that pocket, the play, that's when it begins. And for Aaron Rodgers, he was sensational tonight. The Cowboys, again, come out after the half and get outscored. Dez was back. Ryan Sibley, Grace Neely, Gracie Poo, love you to death. Thanks for joining. Dez was back, Ryan. Dez played a good game, and that the play that killed the Cowboys, if you want to come down to it, as good as the offense played, the play that really killed the Cowboys was that second down call for the pass to Dez Bryant. That was just bad coaching, bad play call there. You cannot, when you're running the ball as efficiently, love you too, Gracie, love you too, Mom, when you are running the ball as efficiently as they were running the ball with Ezekiel Elliott, you've got to keep that clock rolling. You got to give that thing to Zeke. Zeke had it. That stretch over the line that Zeke did, that was a 12-year veteran type of move. And you have to let Zeke go and win this game for you. Now, I realize I'm not going to fault Dak for getting the touchdown on the very next play, but you left a minute and 13 seconds on the clock, and you left Green Bay with a timeout. That was a destroyer of worlds. That was the eater of their worlds, to do a shout out to Bray Wyatt out there, who considers himself the eater of worlds. That is where the Packers ate the Cowboys' lunch. It was a heartbreaker. It was a big-time heartbreaker. There's Laura. Hey, Laura. I know you don't know much about football, but thanks for joining. I appreciate it, but I appreciate it. And so let's talk about just a little bit of statistics here. I love Bray too, Ryan. I love Bray. He's no Ric Flair, but he's pretty good. So Dak Prescott goes 25 of 36 for 251 yards and has 3 touchdowns. That one interception that he had, that interception is on Terrence Williams. Don't put that on number 4. Terrence Williams needs to make a play. You can't keep letting you can't keep letting him catch the ball with his body. I mean, what are you doing there? I mean, what are you doing? It's just it was a heartbreaking loss against the Green Bay Packers, whom, yeah, a lot of that is on T. Will. T. Will did not close that play out. Dak Prescott did not. It's not like Dak put the ball, in a terrible place. T. Will just let that damn thing bounce off of him and let somebody get a pick 6, and you just can't blame Dak for that. Dak had a phenomenal game. Ezekiel Elliott rushed the ball 29 times for 116 yards. They looked like the offense that we are accustomed to seeing. But then again, they, at the end, what did they do offensively? They killed themselves with that second down pass call. That was just, oh, man, that was just a sad one. That was a sad one. We want to welcome Mike Thomas. Mike, my coworker, thanks for joining us. Mike Thomas Jones there. Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones. That's who. The Green Bay Packers, they are the Cowboys' kryptonite. They are, I said this earlier, the Green Bay Packers are to the Dallas, this is for Dallas fans out there, the Green Bay Packers are to the Dallas Cowboys what the St. Louis Cardinals were to the Texas Rangers. They are just that kryptonite. They find ways to win. And a lot of the blame you can put on this defense, but at the same time, look at the defense. Look how young they are. Look at Jordan Lewis. Jordan Lewis, who had the play to stop Aaron Rodgers, and then on the very next play gave it up for the touchdown, for the win for the Packers. That was just incredibly heartbreaking for them. And I always want to put things in perspective for you guys. Cowboys fans that are out there, you get upset, you get worked up during games. It's the cardiac Cowboys. That's just what they are. But also keep in mind that the way we feel right now is bad. But think about how they feel right now. Those guys that just left it all out there, got beat, and now they're going into their bye at 2-3. Hey, Casey, welcome to the show. That's heartbreaking for them. It's heartbreaking for them. And Sean Lee for Ryan. Sean Lee, he has it's not a big injury, but he has a tweaked hamstring. And with soft tissue injuries like that, you don't want guys to turn a 2-week injury into a 6-week injury. So, because the Cowboys, I'm going to put it this way. Ashley, my girlfriend, said this to me before I came on. Welcome to Dante. Welcome to Jimmy Kimmel. Jim Kimmel, my man. Welcome to the show. She said this to me before I came in to do my show. She said, 2-3, okay, they can still make the playoffs. And if they play that way offensively, they should. They should make the playoffs. This has started off tough, okay? They have played games, tough games. They've seen everything. Casey, I miss our chats too, my man. I'll see you soon. We'll get together. I'm about to go on vacation in 2 days, so I can't be that angry with this loss because I'm finally going to get 8 days off. So, and everybody that knows me, welcome, Pete. Everybody that knows me knows I work a lot. So finally going to get some days off. But the Cowboys can still make the playoffs. Like Ryan says, we will make the playoffs. We know that the Eagles are going to choke that shit down towards the end of the season. We know that they're riding high right now because they've got 4 wins. But we saw them last year. They got 4 or 5 wins and then only won 3 games to close. They close out the year 7-9. I mean, welcome, click clack. The Eagles are going to fuck it up. The Giants are 0-5 right now, and Odell Beckham. Hey, just a shout out to Odell right now. I know it sucks, man. That is a terrible injury for you to break your ankle like that. I hope you come back as strong as you possibly can. I like competition. I don't know about you guys. I don't get happy when guys get injured. I want to see you at your best. I want you at your best. If we're going to quote my man, Ric Flair, be at your best because you'll need it. to beat Ric Flair. To be the man, you got to beat the man. So anyway, as tough as this game was to go through, want to welcome Angelo as well. Welcome, Pork Chop. His name's Angelo, but he goes by Pork Chop. Anyway, the Cowboys offense, you look at it. Zeke with 116 rushing yards. Dak Prescott had 251 passing yards. That was more than Aaron Rodgers. The difference in this game is that Aaron Rodgers is a seasoned veteran, and they gave him too much to work with. And when they did it, welcome to Sarah, welcome to Joey. When they did with a timeout, that's Tom. It's like giving Tom Brady, anytime. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers saw that the other night. Giving Tom Brady any time on the clock, a timeout left. I mean, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost because Nick Folk missed 3 field goals. God damn, you have one fucking job. But anyway, Lloyd Harvey, welcome to my brother Lloyd. The Cowboys played well on offense. I can't get so mad about them. Cole Beasley just beasted today. Had 2 touchdowns. They came out, they scored. For what you guys got to remember, today, that was their first drive touchdown of the year. Last year, they were like, anytime you gave them the ball to start the game, they're scoring. But they've had a hard time. Think about the teams that they played, too. You're talking about they start the year against the New York Giants. Dak Prescott gets that win, but Dak had never beaten the New York Giants before. Tough defense. The Giants are 0-5, but we can all be real here. It's not because of their defense. It's because their offensive line can't protect Manning, and it's a turnstile, and I feel bad for the poor guy because he's 36, 37 years old, and it ain't getting better, okay? That's why they beat the hell out of the Giants 19-3, but they didn't beat them up offensively. 19-3, only one touchdown, I believe, in that game. I mean, come on. They went the next week and got their tails kicked in Denver. But if you look at in the past, you see teams like the Patriots, teams that are good, go to Denver and get their ass beat. Something about that Mile High Stadium, something about that Denver defense. They did a hell of a job of beating the Cowboys by doing what the Cowboys like to do. Then you go and see them go against the Cardinals, and the Cardinals, they beat the Cardinals 28-17, but you got to admit that wasn't really a welcome to Alana. That win against the Cardinals wasn't a dominating type of win. Then you have what you have with the Rams last week. No excuse for going up 26-13 and losing that game. Just like this week, you're up 21-12 after the Packers missed 2 extra points, which I thought was just like, the Packers are fucking with us, guys. Mason Crosby can kick that 50-something yarder at the end of the season to send all the Cowboys home crying, but then he can't make 2 extra points. That was trolling. That was trolling, 1,000 degrees trolling. You did that, Mason Crosby. You missed those on purpose. All joking aside, the Cowboys get outscored in the second half, 23-10. It happened again. The Cowboys, they were still in the third quarter. They got one. I think they only got maybe 1 possession because the Green Bay Packers just dominated that clock. And then the Cowboys get it in the fourth quarter. And when the Cowboys got it in the fourth quarter and they did what they did by running out the clock as much as they did, there's really not an excuse for losing until you see that they throw on that second down, stopping the clock, and then they score, but you give 1 minute and 13 seconds to Aaron Rodgers, the best quarterback in the league. I know Tom Brady's got 5 rings, but Aaron Rodgers, he is, as quarterback play goes, he is the man, and he showed it again. He loves playing in Dallas, it seems. So going over that, that last drive that the Cowboys had, I'm really it's gonna crush your soul here. The Cowboys ran 17 plays and took off 8 minutes and 43 seconds of the fourth quarter. That is how the Cowboys win games. They beat you by running the clock out, by running it out on you. So that's why they get no points on 2nd and 2 for going in the shotgun and throwing that short pass to Des Bryant that's incomplete. And then on the very next play, with 1:18, Dak Prescott runs around the left tackle, keeps it for a touchdown, Not going to blame it. Yeah, should have run more, of course. Always should run more. This team, its identity rests on the run game. Now, the Cowboys are 2-3. They're going into a bye week. They got the 49ers on the horizon, which we've seen the 49ers are pretty damn terrible. The Cowboys are going to face San Francisco in San Fran. They dominated them last year. Their team is still pretty bad, pretty damn terrible, like I said. They are going to need to get something right here. I don't know if they need a come to Jesus moment or something, but they're going to need to have some conversation and say, why did we throw that ball on second down? Like Ryan says, Dak needs to stay out of the pocket too. Welcome to Matthew Ketterman. Welcome to Esteban. Dak does go out of the pocket to make those plays, but you also have to understand that Dak is only a second-year player, guys. Second-year player. There's a lot of stuff that Aaron Rodgers sees that Dak doesn't see yet. He's not, it's just like for those idiots on Twitter that, oh, well, we need Romo. We need Romo. Romo is retired. Leave it alone. Okay, let the man retire in peace. No, Dak Prescott's your guy. He showed you last year. He closed the door on Tony Romo at every single time he could. He closed that door on Tony Romo. You're going to have to ride with him. And part of the way of riding with them is you're going to have to ride with this is a young team, okay? They're very young. And they're going to have a lot of things that they're going to experience. And if you want my honest opinion, they were 13-3 last year. They cruised to a 13-3 record. But nobody knew who Dak Prescott was. Nobody knew. I mean, they had an idea of who Ezekiel Elliott is, and they had an idea of that. But the Cowboys had an offensive line that had been together for years. They had, Doug Free out there, as much as people hate on Doug Free, because I think Lyle Collins is going to be better eventually. They had the continuity along the offensive line is important. And they have two new guys on their offensive line this year. Two new guys. They showed in this game that they're starting to get it together. That does not excuse them for losing against the Green Bay Packers. That does not excuse them for the way they allowed that loss to occur in the fourth quarter like that after you took almost every bit of time off the clock. Does not excuse them. But I will say this. If you're going to fold up right now, if you're going to fold up inside yourself and you're going to say, that's it, I can't do this anymore. Yeah, that's Tim, by the way. That's a really nice David Bowie picture, Ryan, and that's a really nice Prince picture. That's Tim, by the way, when he puts up that damn Cowboys flag and doesn't put it back right. Yeah. If you're going to fold up inside yourself right now and you're going to say, I'm done, I can't do this, then you weren't around for you shouldn't be around for the good part. Because I'm going to say, I feel as bad as I feel about losing to the Green Bay Packers, and everyone knows that I feel bad about losing the Green Bay Packers here, this team is not done. 2-3 is not, it's not a stake in the heart. We've seen Romo-led teams go have these back and forth games where they go to 8-8, but they always had a chance at the end. This team still is good. This team offensively showed you that they are good. You just can't defensively make a lot of those mistakes against a team like the Green Bay Packers and expect to win. That's where it's hard because Aaron Rodgers is going to make you pay. He's always going to make you pay. He's Aaron Rodgers. He's got a Super Bowl. He got his Super Bowl in Dallas. He loves playing the Cowboys in Dallas. It's like his second home there. But if you look at the way the team played through this game, it's tough. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. They had David Irving came through with 2 sacks in his first game, and I was the guy saying all week that he's going to be rusty, and there he goes. It's like, I ain't fucking rusty. Sacked Aaron Rodgers twice. Tyron Crawford got 1. DeMarcus Lawrence got 1. They did everything they could to win this game, but they made that one crucial mistake, and that was that pass on second down, and while they're close to the goal line in the red zone, when they should have just ran the ball, ran time off the clock, score with almost no time left, and then say, here you go, Aaron Rodgers, you got 30-something seconds. Let's see what you do. Because I guarantee you, if they do that, if they run the ball and they knock that time out, Green Bay's calling a timeout. If they run the ball that next play, Green Bay's calling their last timeout. And then the Cowboys could just score, win the game, get out of there, and be done. But they made a crucial mistake on that pass on second down. They've got a lot of things to work on in this bye week. It's not going to get easier. I mean, you got the 49ers. Nobody's worried about the 49ers, but this is the NFL where any given Sunday a team can come up and beat you. They have the Atlanta Falcons coming up. This is what happens when you're first place. You get a first place schedule. They still got to face the Giants again. The Eagles have won 4 games. We know that they're going to crap the bed someday later, hopefully soon. Then you have the Redskins. They're not going to be easy. It's going to be a grind of a season for the Dallas Cowboys. 2-3. It's really hard for me. I don't want to sit there and just shine light on this and say, oh, they're going to be A-okay. They're going to be fine. No, they've got themselves into a pickle starting 2-3. They've now equaled the losses that they had last year in the regular season. But at the same time, if you're a Cowboys fan, if you're a fan of any team really, you're addicted to this. You're not gonna leave. You're not gonna fold up now and leave. You're not gonna say, that's it. I saw the first 5 games of the season and I've seen enough. If that's the case, then you can turn in your fan card right now. I'll take it. Anyway, we're gonna be back later this week with a podcast once I can put my ideas together. Like I said, I start vacation on Wednesday, so that will be fun. We'll probably do something on Wednesday there. It's a tough loss, guys. I understand it is. Green Bay wins 35-31 in a heartbreaking game, but just don't give up. Don't give up. I mean, they have a bye week. They got a lot to fix. If they don't, the defense there, they now know, even with Sean Lee coming back, they know that their defense is compromised. They're going to be able to do some things, but they're not going to be able to stick in there for the whole game. And when you come up with 0 points in the third quarter, it's almost the same exact thing that happened to them against the Rams. You get outscored 23-10 in the second half. You got to learn how to be a second half team. You're gonna have to learn how to close these games out. The Cowboys did not close the game out today. That's right, Ryan. We're Cowboys fans, ride or die. Never give up, never surrender. Yeah, correct. This was a tough game to watch. I want you guys to sleep on it, move on, drink beers, whatever you got to do. See, I'm still rolling with my boy Dak Prescott here. Whatever you got to do to put this behind you. Thankfully, the Cowboys don't play next week, so you don't have to have another heart attack. You don't have to go through this type of game for at least another week or a week and a half or so. The Cowboys need some rest. They're going to need a lot of rest, and they're going to get some, but they're also going to get some ass chewing, and that's what they need, because going 2-3 to start the year, I don't think any Cowboy on that team envisioned themselves doing this. They have nobody to blame but themselves defensively. Offensive struggles to start the year. They seem that they got that offense back on track, which makes you hate the fact that they're going to be out for a week, because you would like to see them continue. You would like to see the momentum continue on the offense. So hopefully they get this together. They go into San Francisco for their next game, and they find a way to get a victory there, to get to 3-3, to get back to 500, and then maybe, just maybe, this team will start putting things together. Because as young as this defense is, they are getting better in these games. You've seen it. They are getting better. They were not as bad defensively this game than they were last game. And if you look at it, Aaron Rodgers in his 5 games, or in his 5 games, his first 4 games at least, he had 300 yards passing. In 3 of those, ran the ball like crazy over the shitty Chicago Bears, so didn't need to pass, but he passed less than 200 yards. The Cowboys held him to 221 passing yards today. So It comes down to that second down play. It comes down to things like Terrence Williams letting that ball bounce off of his body. Yeah, good, Grace, agreed. Good. Don't get sad, get mad, get angry. I want to see leaders of this team during the bye week like Des Bryant and Jason Witten and guys like that say, this is not the team we are. We are better than this. We're going to go in. Let's go put a whooping on San Francisco. Let's move on to the next game. Take it one game at a time. If you'll remember this, guys, the Packers last year, the Cowboys beat them. The Packers end up going and defeated the Cowboys at home in the divisional round to go to the NFC Championship. So it's a lot hard. It's a lot harder, to do that when your team is as young as the Cowboys. It's easier said than done. But by all means, this season is still long. You don't, like Zeke Elliott said this past week, he said before this game, he said, you do not want to be peaking in September and October. If you peak in September and October, you're peaking way too early. You want to get your shit together, and you want to be peaking in November and December, because I don't know about you guys, but watching the Cowboys, I don't care if they get a first-round playoff bye. If they are going to make the playoffs, I'd much rather them be the team that has to keep playing. I want to keep momentum. I don't want to slow down. That's why losing this game going into your bye week 2 and 3 hurts a lot. But you got to put that behind you, and you got to move forward to the next game. The next game is going to be against the San Francisco 49ers. The Dallas Cowboys are on a bye week now. I believe this, let me see. The Cowboys are on a bye week, so I think they get 10 days off, if I'm not mistaken. And then they play the 49ers in San Francisco. Just to pull it up here, their next game is October 22nd. Wow. So losing today, they get quite some time off to really think about this, think about what happened today. But like I said, they get the 49ers, but after that, they got to play the Redskins. They got to play the undefeated Chiefs. They got to go to Atlanta, play the Falcons. They get the Eagles, who are leading the division. Chargers just won their first game against the Giants, but that's not saying much. They got the Redskins again, Giants, Raiders on the thing. Seahawks are coming, Eagles. It's not going to get any easier, guys. Let's hey, Jet, how you doing, buddy? We're going to just sign out here today. We want to thank you for joining us. Look, later in the week, we'll probably have a Brews and the Boys podcast coming up later in the week. Timmy Two-Step was absent today because Timmy Two-Step doesn't want to be heartbroken like the rest of us. Timmy Two-Step is at ACL, which Sundays are the worst days to go. I mean, like, lame. Come on, Jay-Z played on Friday. Solange played on Friday. Ice Cube played yesterday. I mean, you're missing it all. Anyway, so we'll be back with you later on this week. Look for another podcast coming up. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on Stitcher. You can find us on SoundCloud, all Google Play, all the different places that you want to find us. Brews and the Boys here. Thank you for joining us for another week. Cowboys lose a heartbreaker 35-31. But don't lose hope. As we always say here on Brews and the Boys, all it takes to be an expert in Dallas Cowboys is a little bit of passion and a whole lot of beer. Cheers, everybody. Love you all. Thank you.